Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is Marta's Sci-Fi Seminar, and this is my first review under the new format. And here I'm gonna adjust the camera just a little bit so you're not staring at, well, maybe you're gonna get a little bit of shadowing on my ceiling. I record in my basement. I've made no secret of that. And I've moved some things around, so things are a little tipsy-turvy here. But this is my first review under the new review format, and I would like to draw your attention to a fantastic writer and to a fantastic book, T.J. Klune, The House in the Cerulean Sea. Also going to try to include all the gorgeous book covers when I do the reviews now. So I really loved House in the Cerulean Sea. It was my first 5-star read this year, and still one of only 2 maybe. It's absolutely fantastic. When I do reviews, sometimes I feel like I'm being a little too effusive or a little too general. First of all, I'm not going to review a book I didn't like. I don't see the point. There's enough hate in the world. I don't need to be spewing it and drawing attention to a book I didn't like. So if I seem to be focused on a lot of praise in my reviews, that's intentional. If I also seem to be overgeneral in my reviews, I really hate spoilers. I really don't want you to meet the book on my terms. I want, hopefully, to give you enough information about a book that you go find it and experience it on your own terms. So I will say of Klune's The House in the Cerulean Sea, as I hold the beautiful cover up again, to give you a very brief sketch of what happens. We have Linus, who's our main character, who works for the department in charge of magical youth, and he's a social worker, basically. And he gets called in on a very unusual assignment. Much of Linus's job is to inspect the schools and the foster homes where the magical youth live, and to make sure that everything is up to spec. So when he gets a very special assignment at a very special home for magical youth, that's when our adventure really begins. That's in a lot of ways where Linus's life really begins. It's a fantastic story. There are characters of all kinds and stripes and colors. Trying to think if anybody literally has stripes. Possibly, from a certain point of view. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Klune is an extremely poetic writer. His prose is amazing. It's one of the most quotable books I've read in a really long time. The characters, the interactions, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of not just tolerance of difference, but there's a lot of real embrace of difference, recognition that we all have our own differences, and that's okay. We can still all work together, play together, live together peacefully. It's a pretty, I'm not fond of the term heartwarming. It is a comfort read. It is, at the same time, Klune is talking about the very unique situation in this particular department in charge of magical youth, Daikomi home. Klune is also talking about the situation of a lot of different people in the world that is going to be more familiar to us. And what he has to say is worth hearing. So once again, I highly recommend The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. You'll love it.